Malcolm, take a listen to another supremely noticeable, bizarre, or disturbing, depending on your point of view, thing that the president said about how Hillary Clinton would be treated in Russia.
What happened to Hillary Clinton's emails? 33,000 emails gone, just gone. I think in Russia they wouldn't be gone so easily. I have great confidence in my intelligence people, but I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today.
Do you think Americans should be angry, worried, concerned based on what we saw today? Malcolm?
Well, what they should be is shocked and disgusted. I know I am. When I heard that today, my jaw dropped to the floor. I could not believe a president of the United States went to a foreign nation, an adversary nation, not a competitor, an adversary, and insulted the American political system, the American intelligence agency, American law enforcement, the U.S. Congress, an opposition party, and in essence surrendered this nation's opinions to a foreign power and believed a former KGB officer over that of the men and women who walk past the statue of Nathan Hale every day and sold this nation down the river. I'm sorry. What we saw here today is not just Donald Trump aligning himself with Vladimir Putin. We saw the beginning of the realignment of the entire world order since World War II, and Trump and Putin are the only two people, as David said, who knows what was said in that meeting.
It's well put, and it's chilling, Shelby, and it's about U.S. foreign policy. This is not about 2016. This is not about people rooting for Bob Mueller to create political outcomes that otherwise might not be created.
Right.
As I've emphasized in our reporting tonight, put that all to the side. Do the thought experiment that Bob Mueller doesn't indict anyone else, and that's the end of the road. And we just witnessed today something that I don't think people are going to fully absorb for some time to come. Here is also new sound from Donald Trump from another interview he did that's part of this whole Putin defense campaign, also undercutting his own intel chief. Take a look.
Your DNI, Dan Coates, said that America's digital infrastructure is at a critical point right now, similar to what it was like in some ways before 9/11, and that is we're susceptible to a large-scale attack. Do you agree with that?
Well, I don't know if I agree with that. I'd have to look.
The idea that he does not agree, quote unquote, that he has separate fact-finding than the entire military intelligence apparatus.
Well, and he said that standing side by side with Putin. He repeated debunked conspiracy theories about the DNC server, about the Pakistani who worked alongside Debbie Wasserman Schultz. He cast a lot of doubt on the investigation in general. He also called the Mueller probe disgraceful and a disaster, and he blamed the probe for the tension with Russia, not Russia's meddling. So in addition to all of the other things he said and did today, this is what's really affecting Republicans on the Hill. I've been talking to some Republicans who are on intelligence committees, and they think this is very problematic for two reasons. If the president doesn't trust the intelligence agency's assessment, how can we ever secure our cyber defenses? How can we ever have cybersecurity in this nation if he simply doesn't believe them? And secondly, he is so worried about his election and how it is viewed that this investigation is driving his policy. And that is scary, not just for Democrats, but for Republicans alike in Congress.
Right, and you're reporting on what Republicans are telling you. Malcolm, briefly, there's a less benign view, which is that this is not about simply defending the legitimacy of his election, but rather he or people around him may be under legal scrutiny for how they welcomed what is now charged criminal conduct by the Russian army.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And we know if right there in plain sight when conspiracy, at least on one count, occurred. And that was when he called upon Russian intelligence and the Kremlin to release Hillary Clinton's emails. And what you saw was this flurry of activity from Russian military intelligence. That happened in plain sight, as did his lack of concern about anything that could happen to the United States in the cybersphere, his lack of concern about how we fired the FBI director in order to get rid of them for the Russian, to get rid of the Russian probe. I don't think he understands what reality is in the rest of the world. He has a meta-narrative around him that is Donald Trump can do no wrong, and he believes nothing in the world except for his friend Vladimir Putin and his base, all of whom are the same to him, are the only people that he should listen to, talk to, and everyone else be damned.